All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. We are here. And guess what, people? We got us a fucking name. We got us a name. It took us forever. And we are going to present to you. I'm here with my guy, Matt. I'm here with my man, uh, Nate, aka Cowboy, and my buddy Eddie. And we are a new show. And we still got a little more things to work out. But as for right now, we are through the barber's shop window. Through
Cheers.
the barbershop window. And it's gonna be at the bottom. There it is. Through the barbershop window. And that's our name of the show. The show is Through the Barbershop Window, and it is a double entendre. Matt, through the whole thing, he threw it out there, and then we all kind of said that's pretty cool, but there's a very cool story behind it. Matt, you want to tell us about that?
So it kind of, hey, kitty. It kind of hits a few different notes. I mean, for me personally, I was trying to think of like one of my earliest wrestling memories. And while I remember watching wrestling, nothing stood out as much like as one of my first real memories as the Rockers breaking up. When that coward Marty Jannetty tried to run away from a fight and jumped through the barbershop window.
Tried to escape.
Yeah. So also, it just so happens that Ray and Nate are both barbers, and we're like on the outside looking in to the world of wrestling as fans. So it kind of ticks all these little boxes, and it kind of works for me. I'm a big fan of those kind of things. So
Yeah, and so that's kind of how the name truly came about. Nate and I are both barbers. The whole Marty Jannetty thing, but this was the crazy part. So we only decided on the name this fucking morning. And come to find out, 31 years to go today, Marty Jannetty, the coward Marty Jannetty, tried to jump through the window. It was 31 years ago today. So he was like, that's it. It's a fucking omen.
Yep.
That's the name of the fucking show.
Yep, running away, try to jump through the window.
The wrestling gods looked down on us. They said, Macho Man said, "Oh yeah," and blessed us with that name. Blessed Matt's brain with that idea. So here we are.
Here we are through the barbershop
It's
window.
the weed that we have to thank for that idea.
Yeah, there it is. It's the weed, man, for sure. Have you ever thought about a name of a show on weed?
Only every show I've ever done.
Right.
We put at least a little bit of green in the graphic.
You said put a little green where now?
In the graphic once it's all together.
Oh, right, for sure. Yeah, we're gonna come up. The logo's gonna be dope. I know it is. It's gonna be pretty cool to see it. Let's just get into it because we gonna run through this one today because we got a couple things we want to get to, but we're gonna really have one main topic, fellas. And the thing about the show is throughout the week we talk. We have a little group chat going. We may talk, outside of it, so on and so forth. And the guys send things into the group chat, and we kind of come up with the show topics. But I don't tell the guys how I'm gonna present it to them. So it's always candid. It's always gonna be Cowboy, Eddie, and Matt giving their actual reactions to everything that I present. So last night, well, actually, let me just ask this before we go.
Is Marty Jannetty a coward? Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
He was trying to avoid his comeuppance, and it's debatable whether or not he jumped through that window or whether he tripped over his own clumsy ass feet and fell through the window. Point is, he's a coward through and through. He's yellow. That's why they used to have those yellow fringe on the side of their pants, because he's yellow.
Yellow bellied, man.
Yeah.
I gotta agree, man. Dude's full blown coward. He couldn't stand there to face Shawn Michaels during the split, man. He just tried to jump through that window, and it was just bad news on both ends for him, man, because he ended up getting stuck. So It's a real cowardly move.
Y'all hear the shit about him that came out on the internet a few years ago?
Being a fucking weirdo.
Him coming out and saying he's killed at least one person.
Yeah,
I didn't hear this. No, for real.
Dude. So he goes on Facebook and he does this post, something along the lines of like, the first time I ever killed a man, and he was saying that, you know, another man made an advance on him and he didn't like it. There's something to that effect, and he killed the dude. He's implied that it's happened a couple times too. So Marty Jannetty's, I don't know. He's on a good one. Coward or not, he's on a good one.
He's a coward and murderer.
Damn, what a fucking terrible combination. Go ahead, Eddie.
I'm about to say, hey, Marty, don't you know that there's no statute of limitations when it comes to murder?
Yeah, but it's on Facebook, dude, so it's okay.
Don't worry about it. It's all right.
It's all good.
Yeah. All right. So we've established that Marty Jannetty is a coward. So in the vein of that was a fucking beautiful kick Shawn Michaels gave him.
Yep.
During the breakup. But here's my question for you guys for the day.
Oh, what's the best HBK super kick?
I mean, that comes straight to mind for me.
That's easy for me, but I'll let somebody else.
I don't care who goes first. Go ahead.
Nate, you said you got one.
Go ahead,
All right.
Nate.
Literally, first thing that comes to mind, I mean, it's not necessarily recent, but more in the recent years, Shelton Benjamin fucking Shawn Michaels, when Shelton Benjamin does the fucking springboard off the top rope and Shawn Michaels catches him, fucking just breaking his jaw, knocking him out unconscious. I mean, that's literally one of my favorite super kicks in general, not even just HBK, just perfect, man. Nailed it. Perfect.
Yeah, that's one of those feats of athleticism that you're just like, damn. Like, you wonder if he actually killed that dude. Like, I mean, obviously he didn't, but in the moment you're like, oh, he gone.
Yeah.
Eddie, you got one?
Yeah, Ric Flair's retirement match. I'm sorry. I love you.
Yeah.
Boom.
Sorry, I love you.
Lights out.
Damn, man.
Yep.
And you're like, guys have no emotions. Guys can't cry. Fuck you. I cried like a baby.
Yeah, that was most definitely the one for me too. I mean, and the way he sold it, and he looked, you knew that he really feeling that. Like, I don't care who you are, and we always talk about motherfuckers be like wrestling's fake, whatever. Those guys work together. Those guys pour their heart and soul into their jobs and everything like that. You could tell HBK didn't really
respect. That's a brotherhood.
Yeah, not even just that. It's the fact that, like, well, Ric Flair kind of ruined it now, but that was his retirement match. Like, like that was
like 8 times by now, bro.
I know, dude. But like at the time, you know, that's like what they thought was like, hey, this is my send off. So fucking Ric Flair's career at the time was ending with Shawn Michaels a boot to his jaw, you know. So it's pretty badass.
Yeah, but nobody that ever retires in wrestling stays retired.
Case
in point, Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. I'm gonna give you guys a spoiler. That is the main topic of tonight's show. Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Can I just take a minute to point out how awesome my Minoru Suzuki shirt is? I love Murder Grandpa. He's amazing. It's him choking out Donald Trump. Look.
Ooh, nice.
Perfect.
That is pretty dope. That is pretty dope.
I'll have to wear my Trump shirt next week, man.
Yeah. Trump versus Suzuki. Let's do it. Wrestle Kingdom next year.
Mine's that municipal waste one. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know if I want to air it on here. But
not if we're trying to monetize.
Yeah, trying to feed himself the piece of hot lead.
Okay, so also last night, our friend, our guy, Matty Ding Dong.
That's me.
That's where he was.
That's my scissor sister, Amanda.
That's right. Matt was at the show last night. AEW
wrestling. Look at that.
AEW meets Matt last night, y'all. Matt, tell us about how it was for you at the show last night.
It was dope. I mean, I was super tired, but like, man, that was I didn't realize what a stacked card that was from the beginning. Like, they did Dark Elevation first, and that was fun. There was like this match with like Ethan Page and Matt Hardy, and it was like a 8-man tag, but it was like this giant joke match that was super fun. And once Dynamite started, holy shit, man! Like starting with Mox and Cowboy, and going like the ladder match, and just every single thing. Adam Cole coming back, like what? I had no idea that was coming. All the marks getting butt hurt when Sasha didn't show up. Like there's a moment. So like I think they did this on purpose. So like the match happened, right? And then it's like they're starting to walk up the ramp, and then like everything in the arena goes dark, and everybody was like, "Oh!" and pulls out their phone, and then they start playing the Rampage commercial music.
Oh no!
I was laughing so hard. I'm like, "Oh, you Marks thought she was actually going to show up."
I seen a video of that on Twitter today, where it's like, everything cuts to black, and it's like everybody starts freaking out, and then the commercial just pops up or whatever on the Titantron, and you just hear everybody just go, "Oh!"
You see, but what's funny is you see this in the crowd.
Yeah,
that's all you see is this.
Everybody was ready for it, man.
Yeah.
Did you see that same video I was talking about?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, it's like all over Twitter.
I saw it, man.
I got some real good photos though, man. It was really cool, and then I got to see Rampage. They filmed Rampage while they were there.
Damn.
So I saw the Juice Robinson and I already forgot who he fought. Oh, Darby Allin match. That was fun.
Lord, you can't spoil it, but you know.
No. I mean, it's Juice Robinson, so
yeah.
Then there was like the street fight with Ty J and Ruby Soho and Willow. And
is Willow big? Like she looks big on TV, but
but
then again, I don't think she is.
That's what I was saying earlier, man. Like all of them are like a lot smaller than you would think. Like Athena was on, I think she was on Dark. Also, when did she become Ring of Honor champion, women's champion? I don't know.
She did during the last pay-per-view.
Okay.
When FTR lost their belts and all that good.
Oh, gotcha. But yeah, she like, man, in person, she can barely see over the top rope. I was like, wow, you could like literally put her in your pocket. Like Jamie Hayter, super tiny. Hikaru Shida, amazing triceps. You wouldn't see it on TV, but in person, it's like, holy Shida, she's got some tries on her.
Holy Shida.
Yup.
It was dope, and it was really hard to pay attention to the ladder match because there was just so much shit going on.
I can only imagine.
I still have to go back and watch it.
Those matches, especially when what does Cornette call the fucking the Hartley Boys? He calls them the Hartley Boys. Man. But when they're doing their thing, what are their actual names? The Young Bucks. When the Young Bucks are doing their thing, and I can't even think of his name. I'm looking right up in my head. What's
Kenny Omega?
Kenny Omega.
The Elite.
Yeah, the Elite. When they're doing their thing and they have a quality team to go up against, it's a lot of fucking. I mean, you're just like
a lot of spots.
A lot of spots. Honestly, many spots.
The Young Bucks are what sold me on New Japan in the first place. I watched the first New Japan I ever watched was Wrestle Kingdom 9 because Jim Ross was doing the commentary, and the Young Bucks were in the first match, and it was like an 8-man tag, like 4 teams, and like it was just so high energy. I think Trent was in it. I think Roppongi 3K was in it, but it was just so much unlike anything I'd ever seen in like WWE that I was like hooked instantly.
Right. Yeah.
Now,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I've got 2 questions mainly. One, how loud was the pop? Because it sounded loud on the TV when Bebe came back.
Oh God.
It was huge. Like when Adam Cole's like music hit and the graphic came on, everybody lost their shit. Like nobody was expecting it. I mean, I watch, or I troll the dirt sheets and stuff, and I didn't see anything about him being cleared or like just awaiting creative or anything like that. And then with, if I'm guessing we're spoiling Dynamite, but like with the trios match happening and the Elite being the trios champion again, I'm hoping that we're going to start to get some of that Elite Red Dragon Undisputed I mean, Bobby Fish is gone and Kyle O'Reilly's injured, but I mean, Kyle O'Reilly is posting like updates recently, so maybe he'll be back soon.
I love Kyle O'Reilly, actually.
Oh,
He's one of my favorites.
That boy good.
I was gonna say
good.
I think he was posting about him having a few setbacks, so he's gonna probably be just a little bit longer in the oven. And the second question
said that too, though. Remember, he was like, "Oh, if this happens one more time, I might be done." And then it's like, "Oh,
right.
shit, he came like next month."
Yeah, and the next thing is was like the crowd dead when the Elite grabbed that, or at least Kenny grabbed that belt? Because like I was expecting a louder pop, and it just like felt dead to me. I don't know.
I mean, I think people were pretty stoked, but I think it just felt a little short. I don't know how it felt on TV, but I remember when the match was starting, I looked at my watch and I was like, "Oh, we got like 10 minutes. Like this is gonna be really quick." So yeah, I mean, I don't remember how big the pop was. I know it was huge for Adam Cole, but I was just stoked that they won because
watching it on. Sorry, go ahead.
Kenny's kind of my favorite. So
watching it on TV, the match didn't really feel short to me. But where it ended, I didn't feel like that's where it was supposed to end. Like I thought they were going to do one of those typical things where he's like reaching for the belt and they zoom in on him, and then like fucking Ray Phoenix comes with like a drop kick or something like that, to knock him off.
It felt like maybe they had more they wanted to do and they were just pressed for time, because it actually it really felt like someone was going to come in. Like Matt wasn't holding anybody. He was just kind of like on the outside of the ring there, and Kenny took a really long time climbing. So I kind of thought like, oh, okay, well, somebody's missed their cue and needs to come in. But yeah, I think maybe they got pressed for time a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Elite is the trios champions now.
Yeah.
So, the whole 3-1 thing, when they went 3-1, I was like, oh, here go with this fucking LeBron bullshit.
Of course.
Yeah. I'm fully expecting a fucking LeBron promo from them next week.
I love that they made a comment about that too, about how the last time there was a best of 7 finale in that building was in the 80s with like, I don't know basketball. I want to say it was like the Clippers or somebody.
It was the Lakers and I think the Pistons.
Sure. Yeah, so they were definitely playing it up, but I always love when they do like a best of 7 series and they're like, oh, if it goes this far, it's going to be these matches, and then we're going to have the super cool match at the end.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get there.
Hopefully we get there.
Hopefully.
Once they're saying the Esquilera de la Muerte or whatever they named it, I was like, that's happening. There's no way. But
I was like, dope, I get to see a ladder match.
A ladder match to the death, which is basically, it was like a TLC match, but without the C, so it was just a T and L match.
Yeah.
But it was badass, dude. I mean, I fucking loved it. But going back to what you're saying, like when you seen it was like 3-1, I was like, I kind of felt the same way. I'm like, okay, well, we know they're gonna come back with this, like, here's 3 wins in a row, so both teams are tied. But at the same time, like, I used to be a huge mark for the Bucks, and I mean, I've always been a Kenny Omega fan. I mean, that dude's just a top tier athlete for sure. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, this run, dude. It's just like them coming out to fucking Styx or whoever that is that sings that song. It's just Kansas. Okay, yeah. Every time they comes out, dude, I'm like, I just get so hyped, dude, and I'm like just ready for this match, and I'm cheering for him and shit, and so. Watching them come back, and I actually was telling one of my cousins who doesn't really watch wrestling, but he's like in it for all these like kind of gimmicky type shits. And I was like, dude, you have to come over and watch last night's Dynamite, because that literally was like one of the best wrestling shows I've seen in a long time.
It was really good.
Like that felt like pay-per-view quality shoved into like a 2-hour time limit, and like every match fucking popped off. Like every match was like, holy shit, dude, like. I don't know. It was just a good time.
I mean, you mentioned Danielson and
Takeshita.
Yeah, there you go. That was an
absolute banger. I'm so glad he's going to be doing more stuff in AEW.
I'm about to see him in South Bend, Indiana. He's wrestling Nash Carter or whatever that guy's name is now.
Who's Nash Carter?
He used to be a part of that tag team in NXT. He got fired for doing like a Hitler mustache and like he would beat his wife. The guy's a shit.
He was one of the Rascals, right?
Yeah,
was
yeah.
He? Okay.
The guy's a shithead, so I'm glad I'm about to watch Takeshita beat the shit out of him. But yeah, he's him and those two are wrestling at Warrior Wrestling out there.
And he's pretty good though.
Dude, that fucking I cuss a lot, man. I'm realizing that.
No, you're fine. Takashi is fucking good.
Top row.
He's fucking good. Takashi's good,
dude. Yeah. When he did that reversal, when Danielson went to do like the victory roll or whatever it was on him, and he fucking shut him down with a weird ass like tombstone type thing. People are saying that was like, oh, half a botch. I don't think so. I think that was just badass.
So from where I was, like, it looked really low, and it looked like Danielson was really fortunate he was able to tuck his neck enough. Like there was a couple spots last night where I was like, oh, that did not go well.
They were whooping each other's ass, dude.
Yeah, there was one, I think it was it might have been the women's match for Friday, or maybe it was some women's match, but they dove out and they didn't really catch the person that was jumping, and they hit the floor hard. That street fight, too, there is a nasty bump in that street fight.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing I did follow on Twitter was AEW botches. You ever follow that?
Yep.
I'm sure they got plenty, man. Because I love AEW, but there's a ton of botches.
There's a ton of botches, and maybe we'll do a show one day. We'll talk about botches. And none has been no botch has made more noise than over in WWE with what's his name from
Top Dollar.
Top Dollar, yeah.
Oh man,
above the wow.
That shit was great,
dude. When he and so the botch, shit happens. Everybody, botches happen. But the fact that he does botch and then he fucking reacts like he just did the coolest thing he's ever done in his fucking life. He's like,
he owns it, yeah.
And I mean, shit, the rest of the dudes sold it because what else do you have to do? But that dude's walking around yeah, I'm the baddest motherfucker. I just did that shit. And it's like, bro, you just barely fell on the top rope.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was funny is that they fucked with him on Monday. They fucked with him. Was it Monday? I think it was Monday. They fucked with him about it. Then it was a backstage segment, and they started fucking with him, talking about at least I don't fucking do miss jumps and shit like that. And they started a fight, and then it became a tag team match. It was a fucking mess. Yeah. Before we move on, Matt, you did say that you didn't watch, you didn't see SmackDown or Raw.
Nope.
You had a reason you wanted to share with us?
I mean, for me, so when I found out Vince was back, for some reason I have a really hard time watching things on Friday nights. Don't know what it is, but so I missed SmackDown, and then I found out Vince was back, and I was a little annoyed by that. And then there was a lot of rumors about WWE being sold to a Saudi Arabia investment group.
Yeah,
and I kind of was making the decision that if that's true, that might be the last time I watch WWE.
Well, let's get into it. Like I said, our number one thing that we're going to talk about tonight is, let's start here. Stephanie resigns. For the viewers at home or the viewers that can't see the show and you hear us on the podcast, what we're looking at is the letter Stephanie wrote. You guys think I should read it or
Yeah, you should.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go ahead and read it. It is Stephanie says, "Dear WWE Universe, about 8 months ago, I took a leave of absence, and within a few weeks, unexpectedly had the opportunity of a lifetime. I had the privilege to return as the co-CEO and chairwoman of the board of WWE. I cannot put into words how proud I am to have led what I consider to be the greatest company in the world, working alongside a remarkable leadership team and one of the strongest executives I have known in my co-CEO, Nick Khan. Our founder, Vince McMahon, has returned as executive chair and is leading an exciting, I wanted to say exiting, so fucking bad, an exciting process regarding strategic alternatives. And with Nick's leadership and Paul Triple H Levesque as Chief Content Officer, I'm confident WWE is in the perfect place to continue to provide unparalleled creative content and drive maximum value for shareholders. WWE is in such a strong position that I have decided to return to my leave and take it one step further with my official resignation. I look forward to cheering on WWE from the other side of the business, where I started when I was a little kid as a pure fan. I will always remain dedicated to WWE. I truly love our company, our employees, our superstars, and our fans. And I am grateful to all our partners. Thank you for everything. Then, now, forever together, Steph. I know it's long, but that was impactful. How did you guys feel about when you got the news that Vince is coming back and Steph in turn decides, I'm gonna come to you, Eddie, first. Steph in turn decides she's gone. What did that say to you?
Cause like when he came back on Friday and they held the big meeting with everything, they had, it was either her or Paul talk and say that nothing's gonna change, everything's gonna be A-okay. I'm paraphrasing, mind you. And it's just like, yeah, that sure as hell doesn't sound like somebody's got a gun to the back of your head and you're being taken as a human hostage.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just like, okay, she decides to post that and say that, yeah, she's gone. The last time that she was like, you know what, I'm up and I'm gone, was when the sexual assault allegations were coming out against Vince. And so it's like, okay, she's going up and going ahead and leaving again. When's that next big shoe gonna drop?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like, okay, you're looking, and like Wednesday night after Dynamite and everything went off, Tuesday, excuse me. That was when like the rumor mill started to churn really hard about the buyout for WWE being that Saudi investment group. And you could already see it from people just going ahead and jumping, in a sense, being like, nope, I'm not watching this crap if you're going to sell it to the Saudi Arabian people. And it's just like, well,
right.
It's a lot to ingest and it's a lot to take in because it's a whole show. So if anything, I won't take any more time. I'll kind of pass it along so that way we can get more voices.
Let's get more. Yeah. Nate, you want to go?
Yeah, man. I kind of have like two takes on that. One, my first take when I seen that and I read it, like Eddie said, that felt like Vince was literally standing behind her with a fucking, Colt 45 to her brain, being like, hey, this is what you're gonna say. But actually, while Eddie was explaining that and talking about that, I thought about that. Like, so she left right before the sexual allegations dropped. So I'm wondering if maybe because I don't know, was Vince and Linda still together or not? I
think they're still. I mean, I'm not sure, but I think they're still together. But it's only as a face,
Yeah,
because Vince has been seen out dating and stuff, but I think in order to stay more powerful, it's one of those kind of things.
Yeah, one of those team things. But I'm thinking because she could have with all that going on, lost respect and really wants nothing to do with her dad, and maybe that's why it's as soon as he was gone, she came back, and as soon as he comes back, she's gone because she doesn't even want to be around the dude. And that's just pure speculation on my part. But
I mean, I think that's a good. In my mind, I think everybody's point, but that one right there kind of sticks out to me because at the end of the day, she's worked super hard to get the women's division, women's equality, women's the belt to be prominent, to get them to be on par or close enough to basically when you're looking at the WWE brand, there's no longer just the guys. You're looking for Bianca Belair. You're looking for what's my man? What they call her now? Mama?
Mommy?
Huh?
Rhea Ripley?
Rhea Ripley. Yeah. Rhea Ripley. You're looking for those guys because they're good. Fucking the Queen, she's back. That was fucking wonderful to see her come
As
back.
a face.
Well, dude,
Charlotte, she's the
As
face,
a
right?
face, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on,
to
Charlotte Flair.
touch on that is like, I mean, for a while there, like growing up, in, like with the Attitude Era, like women's wrestling, divas wrestling was mainly just for like, hey, look at these hot chicks and
Look at these
scantily
hot
clad.
chicks, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but like I remember, like, and I was God,
and Stephanie was a part of it. I don't think she liked it at all.
She definitely didn't. She was put in a position where it's like, hey, this is your job, make sure it works. But dude, once like the women's revolution started happening, and like I was literally watching like when like women's NXT first came out, and like when Sasha Banks and Bayley and Charlotte and Becky Lynch were all there as like the 4 horsewomen. Like, dude, I was watching wrestling for those matches, like the Iron Woman matches between Bayley and Sasha Banks. I mean, like, God,
that was fucking
like,
amazing,
insane matches, and like they were just like fucking fighting like their lives depended on it. And in a way, it did, because they literally changed what women's wrestling was. Like,
yeah, it was those 4: Becky Lynch, Bayley, Sasha, and Charlotte. I mean, they just fucking changed the fucking game of women's wrestling, like legit.
And even still, dude, I mean, look at them. Like, they are like the essentially Mount Rushmore currently of women's wrestlers in American wrestling, in WWE and AEW. Like, AEW has their women, but like when you think of like top tier professional women's wrestling, you think of those 4, and they still hold their ground. Even like, I wouldn't even say they're old, but WWE has a weird thing about age limits, and for their age, I mean, they're still like they're still going as hard as they did when they first got in there, and they're still kicking ass. Every role that they're given, they kill it, and every match they have is great. So,
well, Matt, I'm gonna come to you to talk about Stephanie, but I'm gonna add on a little bit of a nugget for you because I know you're gonna want to speak on this. People at home, I'm gonna put it on the screen, but people that can see the screen, this is the board unanimously electing Vince McMahon the executive chairman of the board. This is from WWE right here. This is from WWE right here. So add on to what Stephanie said. Let's talk about how the fuck these fucking Muldoons decided he's the fucking executive of the board again.
I mean, the thing with Stephanie, like, I don't want to assume too much, and like anything I would do would be speculation, but like you guys saying, she was a really big champion, is a really big champion for, women's equality in wrestling, and making sure that the women's product really gets eyes on it. And with the sexual misconduct allegations, it really felt like she was trying to distance herself from that, because it kind of, WWE, they have like some shady practices, and they do that whole "don't be a bully, be a star" campaign. It's a little hypocritical. So like, that's a really bad look for Stephanie. So then she comes back, and then things start coming, and things are changing, and suddenly like Bailey's back, and Dakota Kai is back, and we're starting to see like Candice LeRae and women featured a little bit more. And now that's what made the talk of it being sold to Saudi Arabia investors seem so much more plausible, because Stephanie stepped down. So that's like, if it was taken by Saudi Arabian wrestlers, that's kind of the end of women's wrestling. We've seen a few matches be allowed on like the Crown Jewel shows, but they've been very short, and like,
And they
it's
suck.
a lot. Yeah,
they
it's a lot
fucking
different.
suck. Let's just call it. I'm gonna keep it a buck. They sucked. Every last one of them ones in Saudi. The last 2 years were fucking terrible.
At least. So I don't think that's going to be something that she's going to want to be a part of. And if, she wouldn't be respected or seen as an equal, why would she want to be there? So that's kind of what I think. And the
fucking cat decides to take over the show.
As for Vince being put back in place, like, I mean, we all kind of felt like that was going to be a possibility, where like he's going to do things from behind the scenes. Like, without knowing anything, my speculation is that he took this time off, like, yeah, sure, to deal with the allegations and stuff, but he doesn't seem to care about that stuff too much. I feel like it was more to put a deal in place to sell it, because he was very adamant about like, I'm coming back, I'm going to sell this stuff, or otherwise I'm going to block any TV deal, and we're kind of fucked anyways. Like, he always seemed like somebody that only cares about himself and only cares about his wallet, and if it means fucking his kids over too, then so be it.
To touch on that, dude, I mean, like something came out where he has threatened to bankrupt WWE if somebody decided to sue him. And now there's news out that one of the shareholders is suing him because
I have that here. There was a just so we can just keep that. There is a shareholder, according to this is a Wrestling Ops Twitter page. They said a shareholder has sued Vince McMahon in Delaware's Chancery Court, accusing him of wielding his 81% voting control to oust 3 board members, replace them with loyalists, and push through bylaw changes that would impose his will on the board and the WWE. So I just wanted to put that out there so you can go ahead and speak on it and people can see where you're coming from.
That's what I'm saying is like he talked about bankrupting the company if something like that happened. So I mean something like that happened, you know, and so I'm wondering what's going to go on. You know, it definitely felt like he came in and like installed like a hostile dictatorship almost, gunned everybody's head and saying, I'm back, bitch, and I'm fucking taking over.
He put his massive grapefruits on the table.
Dude, the big grapefruits came out. And I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I doubt that he's going to actually bankrupt it because it just doesn't make sense for him. Like you said, like, he really only cares about his pockets. So doing that would just kind of be like, kind of fucking himself in a way. But I don't know, man. I also see Vince McMahon just being a bitter old bastard and just doing whatever he wants. So I could see him doing some shit like that too. It's crazy. It's crazy that like this character that Vince portrayed throughout, like, you know, the Attitude Era and stuff of being this like evil boss, this asshole dude.
He's really that guy.
Yeah, it wasn't just a character. He's really just a piece of shit.
Somebody
They always say the best wrestling gimmicks are your own personality turned up to 11. So
so
that's Vince.
Yeah, so like there's somebody posted up one of his promos. He was sitting in his office and he was doing something and he was just like, "It's mine, I own it," and so on and so forth. And I was like,
WCW promo,
huh?
WCW promo,
right? Yeah,
injecting the poison of NWO, dude, to kill the company.
So let me ask you guys this. So my scissor sister Amanda, the one that was in that photo, we're going to WrestleMania, or we are planning on going to WrestleMania. And I asked her, I said, "Hey, if it's sold to the Saudis, are you gonna want to go? Like, anti-LGBTQ, anti-women, like, are you gonna want to go?" And she's like, "As opposed to anti-women, anti-LGBTQ Vince McMahon." And I was like, "Oh, well, yeah, I guess that's kind of right."
Yeah. I mean,
a lot changed.
So would it change, like, if the product stayed the same, more or less, would you guys still watch it, but like knowing the views behind it?
I didn't, dude, like, exactly going into like those views that come from that. It's like, I really don't watch the Saudi shows because just like, and I feel like that might be problematic. I don't know, but
no. Can you just say what it is? They fucking suck.
The shows always fucking suck. It's because, dude, I mean, they got all that money, so they get like, dude, the fucking Taker and Goldberg match, the Goldberg and the Fiend match where they squashed and just completely decimated the Fiend character.
Okay, I get it though. Like, Nate, you love Metallica, right?
Of course.
Okay, so imagine if like Metallica never even fucking came to your country, like ever. And then suddenly they're like old and they don't want to play music anymore, but you have like a shit ton of money and you can bring them over there. Like, even if they might suck, you're going to bring them over there. And that's what's happening. They're wheeling out all of these old fucks that they never got to see, that they have the money to bring over. It's like, who wants to see Kane and The Undertaker versus DX? Nobody.
No,
but people who never got to see
motherfuckers.
Except for people who never saw him, yeah. Nate's cat is taking over the show, guys.
Sorry, man. I've been trying to block her for like 5 minutes.
She's just like, no, fuck this. I'm in the show.
Yeah,
what's her name?
She'll do whatever she wants.
This is Coconut. This is Coconut here.
Hey, Coconut.
Hi, Coconut.
Yeah,
Coconut.
Get out of here, you freaking cat. I don't like cats. Hey, Coconut. I know you hear me. Get out of here.
How can you not like this? How can you not like this?
It's a cat.
That's Nate in cat form right there.
That's me in cat form, bro.
So the the other thing that I was wanting to talk about, I lost my train of thought because of fucking coke. And Nate, one of my favorite things, and we're gonna just pop back over here for 1 second because Matt was there last night. One of my favorite things every fucking week is to hear the fucking the music for he comes out, listen,
The Acclaimed.
the Acclaimed, right? And Caster comes out. But last night he had a line in his rap because I wait for it. He always has one fucking zinger that's like, holy shit, did he just fucking say that? Last night he said, "You're a stain on this business, man. I mean, Jeff Jarrett is worse than Vince McMahon."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That was on Rampage.
Yeah.
That was last week, right?
Oh, it was last week?
That was
Okay.
that was like Friday's show.
Okay.
Rampage.
That shit was fucking hilarious,
Dude,
man.
yeah.
So
yeah.
a little spoiler because this won't be on TV. So they weren't on Dynamite.
It wasn't on Dynamite. That is true. That's
Come
why
out-
I was just thinking about it because it was from last week. Okay, continue.
So they come out on Rampage and like they start to do the rap. And Max Caster, the first line of the rap is "The Acclaimed, you can't stop us," and he realized he was doing the wrong rap, and he's like, "Oh fuck, sorry. Let's start again. Let's take it from the top." And then like Billy's like, "No, come on, just do it." And he's like, "No, let's take it from the top. Let's take it from the top." And so they go out and like they go behind the curtain again, and Renee reintroduces them, and they do a whole different rap, and like it was so good. I was like, "Oh, I thought like he never messed up.
He never messes up." That's
Yeah,
great.
he botched it.
Everybody started chanting, "You fucked up, you fucked up," and Billy Gunn gets the mic and goes, "And you always wondered why I only said 2 words."
So
That way you can see it. I posted it over in our little chat here.
oh really? Can you imagine the reaction of the locker room though?
Oh, of him botching his rap.
No. I'm talking about. Let's get back to Vince. I just want to get back to this real quick. The reaction of the locker room, people that he let go. Triple H went back and said, "Hey, come on back here. We need you back." I.e., Bray fucking Wyatt.
I.e., William Regal. Dexter Loomis, Dakota Kai.
I mean,
Johnny
so many. Karrion Kross is one of the ones too.
Scarlett never even got to come up to main roster.
I mean, come on, man. How is this main roster feeling? How is the main roster taking this news of Vince McMahon coming back?
If anything, it's got to be like clenched buttholes and tiptoeing on eggshells, because like those lists of guys right there, it's like, oh god, don't let him back in head of creative, because if anything, we all know that when it comes to Vince, it doesn't matter who he's going to sell to, he's going to want control of creative and everything else, so he's going to want to take that control back.
He's probably going to write it into the contract too.
Oh yeah, that's one of the things that he will 100% put in the contract, is to stay in control. And then if you look at potentially him going ahead and selling it to the Saudi Arabian company, there goes a lot of your wrestlers who even want to even be a part of your business. You've got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they're 100% out. And there was a lot of other people who said, we will not go over and do a fucking Saudi show again because of the kerfuffles and shit they had getting in and out of the country. So it's just like, I don't know if it would be an entire company walkout at that point just to prove a point and be like, no, man, fuck you, we're done. Or if it's one of those things where you've only got a few loyalists and you've got to work from there, knowing what you've got, and then having to go and like, okay, how much am I going to have to pay Taker, Stone Cold, and anybody else who is loyal to me, and get them to start coming and doing these shows.
See, I don't know what their contracts are like, but since they're all independent contractors, I wonder if they could all just leave and just do like a 90-day or 6-month no-compete clause but just walk out of the company. Like if they could just cripple WWE on their own.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
What do you think, Nate?
Because then what?
like morally, I think a lot of the wrestlers would want to do that, but at the same time, you're talking about a fucking like $1 million job. Like I'm sure AEW pays pretty well, but WWE is like the biggest company, biggest pro wrestling, or I'm sorry, what do they call it? Biggest sports entertainment company. So like you got to think like, now I don't doubt that like people like Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens would walk, and some others too, but a lot of them, I think they would think about it, and I think they just fucking deal with it because they're getting paid really well to be there. But going back to like the locker room, talking about like, you know, people like fearing for their job and people who Vince McMahon cut is like, I don't know if they would do this, but the reason they cut Braun Strowman is because how much money they pay Braun Strowman. I don't think the guy's worth. I don't think he's fucking worth it at all. I think he was worth like a $20 bill.
Holy shit, dude! Really? God damn.
A handshake,
Dude. Yeah, but I mean that's the whole reason they let him go in the first place, because the dude's overpaid for what he does, and so I don't know if like, you know, maybe they do some cuts and keep Braun Strowman around, but Braun Strowman's not doing shit anyways, man. I mean he's feuding with Imperium, which is a good feud, but I swear to God, if he fucking beats Walter, that's insane. Like talking about like pro wrestling skills.
He should just go on and he should be the new Ultimo Dragon and just collect every belt from every federation.
Every federation. Yep.
Just chop everyone down until they're all dead.
He's fucking good.
And then him and Samoa Joe will team up and take the tag team belts from everybody, and they'll chop everybody down until they're dead.
Yeah, what did they call him? What did we call him?
Oh yeah, Gunther.
Gunther. Yeah. I hate that.
That's stupid.
Name.
That's fucking Vince McMahon, dude. That's
Walter was so
fucking. Also, Pete Dunne is Pete Dunne. He is not Scrappy Doo or whatever the fuck his name is.
Scrappy Doo.
If you guys aren't the ones that's going to be hearing this on the podcast side, you won't be able to understand this meme. I'm gonna try to make it as visual as I can when I pop it up, but Nate sent this one. I found it fucking hilarious. It was a picture of what's his name? Hulk Hogan. But it says Saudi Mania, right? It says, I am a real Arabian fighting for the rights of only men. That shit is fucking hilarious. And it's like nothing to, you know, really be about. Like, it's just, we're different here in America. Different countries have different cultures and different ways of going about life and things like that. But we take pride in the fact that women get an opportunity to do the things that men can do here in America.
Yeah, like
and we try, but at least in wrestling, we brought it up earlier. All these women, you know what I mean? Even though Ruby Soho has kind of lost her chops over in AEW. I don't know what's going on with her, but you know, it's just like, you know, we want them to thrive in their field, and a lot of them are, you know what I mean? So who do we think is going to, how is this going to shake out, guys? I just don't understand. We saw rumors of Disney. We saw rumors of Eddie, break it down. And then the last thing I saw before you go, I did just recently see that Tony Khan and his son are thinking about it too. So go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to say Shad and Tony Khan were thinking about tossing their hat in the ring to buy WWE. Tony has bragged, of course, during his pressers that he's like, oh, hey, if I need to, I can just dig in the money bag. And it's basically just going, Daddy, I need more money, or I need a bigger allowance to be able to get this person or this. And it's just, you know, between the Dolphins, the soccer, and then AEW and things like that, he's got a lot on his plate right there. Jaguars. I did it dumb.
And then plus they go to
Florida.
Yeah, they're going to go to the playoffs this year, so they're going to get a little bit of money this year too.
But I mean, you've got Disney in the mix. You've got Amazon being discussed. You've got people thinking Netflix might do it. Saudi Arabia. I mean, I saw someone who who did a post, and it was on it was on Facebook saying that, you know, we know the grimy, dirty companies in America. We want the usual scumbag that we have to deal with in America, and not, you know, the Saudis, because that's just completely dirty blood money, and it 100% is dirty blood money. So, like, I know for me, if anything, if they go to the Saudis, because Vince has stated in the past that he would sell the company to the Saudis, I'm done. I'm out. I know that 100% because it's just
I think a lot of people are going to be done with WWE if that goes down.
Yeah, he takes it. He's like, I'm going to take this and I'm going to take it private to where I don't have to worry about shareholders. I don't have to worry about pleasing investors. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Mm-hmm. And it's just one of those things where it's like, you're already kind of doing that now because you have the power to do it. And now it's just like, you sell to the right person who gives you all the other little bits of power that you want. And
he's going to lose that. He's going to lose that battle in court too.
Well, the question is, what does he want to do that he can't already do?
Creative.
And how worried should we be?
He wants that creative control back. Yeah. And like, as soon as he's able to get it,
son-in-law.
Plus Shane, like, it's like, Vince, you can't take this money with you. If anything, your kids should write you a check and just put it in your casket and be gone. If you decide to try to line your casket with your own money, grave robbers, dude. And they'll just come and snatch it from you and leave your corpse out on the freaking ground.
He's that shit on fire, bro. Get real. He's going to have like a trigger in his house for when he knows he's about to die. He pushes it and it just torches his whole bank.
Everything.
Could be like the Joker.
And here we go.
It's not about the money. It's about sending a message.
Yeah. Nate.
Right, so I did want. I was going to ask you, but I'll ask it after Nate.
Nate, did you have an opinion on, like, what are you thinking, you know, as far as who's going to actually make? Because I think Vince came back just to facilitate this sale.
I agree with that. I think I seen a post on Twitter actually talking about this, and it actually seems like if this was to go down, it'd be a pretty cool deal with them if Disney actually bought it out, because you could do animated Disney shows about wrestlers. Like they used to do some shit like that back in the day.
They already have or AAA already has an agreement with Disney, with Marvel. So
really?
We can hop on that too, yeah. And then we could get Lucha Land at Disneyland, bro.
That's
fucking rad.
That's one of the things that they were.
So we can get WWE superstars in WrestleLand in Kingdom of Hearts with the video games and shit.
I mean, shit. Goddamn. You want to make some money? There it is.
Daffy Duck a stunner? Yes, please.
Absolutely, dude.
Giving the Queen of Hearts a fucking rock bottom.
But one of the points that kind of sold me on this, that made me like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, let's do that, is the fact that they could actually have a physical Hall of Fame like in Disneyland.
Oh wow!
So you could walk like a little like circular hall or something like that.
Yeah.
Look at shit, and like maybe even have, like you were saying, like maybe have like a retired wrestler like Undertaker show up at the Hall of Fame for a day or something like that.
If there was a physical Hall of Fame, they would make so much money.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like that's like I would literally like. I go to these like rock and roll Hall of Fames, musicians Hall of Fames and stuff because I'm into that. But it's like if there's an actual like pro wrestling or just a standalone WWE Hall of Fame physical, I would go to that, dude. I would pay a couple, $100 or so to go in there and just look at all the shit and just.
I think they would have they would have the Hall of Ric Flair robes or some shit. That should be dope.
There's a little mini wrestling museum in the Lucha Bros shop out here in Alhambra. It's called like Lucha Republic, and they have a little museum of like a bunch of different Mexican wrestling. It's pretty great.
That's badass.
That is pretty badass.
I mean, shit. We've already got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and we have the NFL Hall of Fame. Screw it. Let's just go ahead and put the WWE Hall of Fame here in
Ohio, Eddie. Nobody wants it.
Yeah, fuck Ohio.
Hey, fuck you guys. I live here. Might as well put it here.
Dude, I was thinking about that. All right, so me and Matt took our buddy Mitch to Matt really took us. He kind of introduced us to it, but we all went to this GCW event And this team, everybody on the team was from Ohio, and we all just decided that everyone in our group, we just fucking, I'm sorry, Eddie, but we just fucking hated Ohio, dude. So and it was like it was a War Games match. So like every time one of them would come out, we'd be chanting, "Fuck Ohio, fuck Ohio," and so like I just literally 2 days ago, I just realized that Jon Moxley is from Ohio.
Yep.
So at the end of the War Games match, fucking Matt Cardona, he was the GCW champion at the time, and he comes out and he does like some bullshit botch, gimmicky match with some guy. He's just some jobber, and then these like druids come out for some other dude. And Jon Moxley ends up being one of the fucking druids and gives him the death rider onto some fucking light tubes and kills him. Became GCW champion. But this whole time, like, Jon Moxley was there, and then, like, we just had this big portion of people chanting "fuck Ohio." So it's
fucking great.
I have plenty of reasons to say the same thing. So,
oh my god,
that's 440. If you're not familiar with 440, you should check him out because it's they got Atticus Kroger. I mean, like, there's some turmoil going on, but Atticus Kroger, Ricky Shane Page, Eddie Edwards. It's not Eddie Edwards. I forget his name, but there's like five or six dudes in there, and like they do a lot of deathmatch stuff, but it's good stuff.
I just also have another question. Did everybody see the Saudi ain't Uzi sign in the AEW show last night?
No.
That's good.
No, I didn't see it. I missed it.
I'm
gonna go back and watch it and see if I can find it. I can go back and see if I can find it. Before we get out of here, the last thing I wanted to talk about was with Vince being back and all this turmoil, and nobody knows exactly what's going to happen, and so on and so forth. Like, what the hell is Vince doing? What is he going to do? Is he going to change the show? Because they're starting to get people back, but now with him just returning, the ratings dropped from Friday from Friday's SmackDown to Monday Night Raw, and I'm guessing it's going to drop.
Nobody watched Raw.
I mean, it's probably going to be, what's going to happen, you guys. That's the last thing I want to talk about before we get out of here.
Honestly, we just gotta wait. We just gotta wait and see. I mean, I would really love to believe that the company is just getting sold, and it'll get sold to somebody like Disney, and Vince will officially step away, and Triple H will stay in control of creative. I'm hoping for all of those things.
That's the silver lining right there.
I think
most outcome.
That's the one I would love the most. Do I think that any of that's going to happen? No. I'm really worried that it's going to get sold. It's going to get changed quite a bit. I worry that they're going to lose a lot of money and a lot of interest, and a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw, we're going to see the end of WWE as we know it. Either way, it's like no longer going to be a McMahon company for the first time ever.
Right. First time ever.
That's pretty big.
Definitely the end of an era, man. I mean, like you said, it's been a McMahon company forever. So, and like Matt was saying, dude, it's like, yeah, I would love to see Disney buy it, and then Vince McMahon be like, okay, my job here is done, and he fucking dissolves into dust, and Triple H and them take over. But really, even if he does sell it to Disney, man, I think Vince McMahon's just gonna be like, yeah, I'm still in control, man, and then we're just gonna go back to the same bullshit. We're gonna get more suffering succotash promos. We're gonna get just dog shit like Vince McMahon was putting out, man. And it's crazy because, like, he was good for a while, but he's just so out of touch. It's like there's nothing to do, nothing we can do about it. And I definitely see more people losing their jobs, and him just keeping a couple of players. And
him asking people, can you fucking puke on the spot? I want to bring it back. Nobody else can be puke, Vince. Sorry, that was one time happening. Oh, I need someone to throw up on command.
They told us that we were the authority, and I wasn't consulted about this at all.
No. Exactly.
He's got a memo of some kind, but like
it's been quite a while since I've been consulted about any of this.
Yeah. And we still didn't get our fucking goddamn WWE ice cream bars.
I know, right?
Those sons of bitches, man.
Fucking.
They had those here. They weren't as good as the ones that they used to have, but like they had John Cena and Roman and stuff. They were like $6. That was crazy.
$6.
I remember them being like $1.50.
Yeah, back in the day, they were fucking good.
Just for an
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Like
those were the days when CM Punk was talking about those fucking ice cream bars. That shit was fucking hilarious. That's back when me and Nate were on the same page, loving that guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But we could talk about him another time. Real quick, here's the picture. People at home, there's a picture popping up of Adam Cole coming back last night, and a fan made sign said, Saudi
ain't Lucy.
I did not see that.
I'm like right there too. I'm like just to the right of that dude.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
No, we can't even see you, bro. I can't. Well, maybe I can't. Hold on. Let me see if I could. I'm gonna look at it on my phone and see if I can zoom in and find it. No, it's too dark. It's too dark, bro.
Eddie, just crop a picture of Matt's head in the crowd. Just
Just do that. We're gonna just crop a picture of Matt right there. But
I'll take like a screenshot from here and take care of that.
Yeah.
So let's see. We like Matt said, we're gonna have to try to kind of wait and kind of see what's gonna happen, and then kind of just see where the WWE is gonna end up going. Right now, AEW is after that show Wednesday. If they produce shows like that and cards like that on a constant basis and take some time and start some long storytelling, start some fucking feuds and have these factions actually mean something, instead of just, we're the JAS and we wear dumb purple hats and I'm tired.
He likes that hat.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
I mean, honestly, when it comes to this idea with WWE being sold, it really all depends on who it gets sold to. Because, with Disney, there's probably a good chance that the women have to cover up completely because, you gotta be now 100% kid friendly, and
Well, touch on that real quick, not to interrupt, but they did on Disney Plus and shit like that because they brought out that Punisher TV show that was made by Netflix and stuff.
No, they kept the Punisher pure, and I love it. So
they still have some violence.
They own Aliens and Predator now too.
So
if they,
I can see them not necessarily forcing them to be
to be anything that they're not. I agree.
Yeah.
Because I mean, shit. You listen. You watch the Punisher. You watch Daredevil. You watch fucking. They got all that on Disney Plus. That is true.
If they go the streaming route, which that's where most places are going, I really don't see too much of an issue.
That's more of a fucking revenue stream, right?
It is. So it's just that's what I'm saying. If I don't know, what they could do if they want to take it off TV, if they want to maybe just do Fox and Disney doing things, it's one of those things where it's like an all-encompassing don't know just yet. But if they take that streaming side of things, they can keep it as is.
I can't wait for this to drag out, and we have shit to talk about for the next however fucking long, right here on Through the Barbershop Window. Through the Barbershop Window. I got to get used to saying it. People forgive me for botching our fucking name, but our name is Through the Barbershop Window. Matt, you got any parting words for the people?
No, just check out my other show, Who Goes There Podcast, if you like horror movies and support independent wrestling. Circle 6 has a big show on January 26th if you're in the LA area. I think it's called 7. They do this shit called Barroom Blitz or something, and they have a no ring match, death match in a bar, and it's really, really good. The 440 guys will be there, so check that out.
Love it. So make sure y'all check out Matt on his other show. Say it one more time for me, buddy.
It's Who Goes There Podcast.
Who Goes There Podcast.
Spotify, iTunes, wherever.
There you go. Who Goes There Podcast. Nate.
Yeah, man. Kind of like Matt was saying, just support independent wrestling, support wrestling. If you go to a barbershop, I had this happen to me. Don't do this. If you're not going to make it to your appointment, call them and let them know. Don't no show.
I love it.
And check out, your independent wrestlers, man. I want to throw a shout out to my boy, the Ewok, my boy, Muggsy James, Jake Hazard, and Jordan Cross. Check those dudes out. Check out, your local independents and get out there and support wrestling.
I love it. Eddie?
Yeah, if anything, I have to say, I kept an eye on the YouTube side of things. Big time shout outs to everybody who decided to give us that watch. We did hit 80 views as of tonight, which is awesome possum. If we've I'm gonna do the shameless promotion thing. If we have earned your
Awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm giggling at that too.
if we have earned your if we've earned your like, subscription, all that stuff, like the page, subscribe, hit the bell for when we go live, or not go live, but whenever these videos go live, you can see them and be like, hey, we know these guys. And of course, just want to say one more thing, just love you, mama.
Yeah, well, that's what's up, man. I echo everything Eddie just said. I was going to bring up on my parting words the fact that the show did well. It's doing well for our first show. Hopefully, this show does better. Like, subscribe, set your notifications, because we will eventually go live, and that's when the big bucks roll in. If you don't get that reference, you're not old enough. We can't be friends.
Also, if you work out, feel free to find me and Nate on Instagram and send us pictures of you flexing after your workout, especially if you're a muscle mommy, especially if you're sweaty. Everybody can be sweaty. Just give us a little flex. Show us what you're working with.
There it
buddy.
is.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, so we love it. We love it. Thank you guys for checking us out. This is Through the Barbershop Window. I hope you guys get to know us well. I hope you guys stay with us and enjoy the show as we grow and build and make this show bigger and better and badder every fucking week, to where we get a fucking pop when we come on.
Mm-hmm.
And having said that, we're out of here.